Giannis went down tonight with a non-contact left lower leg injury and appeared to be grabbing near his Achilles before limping off the court. In this video, we'll talk about why this could actually be a significant injury that really could impact the Bucks' playoff chances. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Dr. Brian Sutterer, and my goal in this channel is to help teach you about the medical side of the sports world. So we're going to take a look here at Giannis's lower leg injury and what exactly could be going on here. Now, we see as he goes down to the ground that he, number one, looked to say something that was pretty concerning in terms of just the amount of shock that he was in. But he's grabbing that lower leg a little bit near the upper part of the Achilles, kind of near that calf muscle region, right at where that myotendinous junction between the muscle of the gastrocnemius, the calf, the soleus, joins up with the Achilles tendon. And now remember, there's this kind of funny story about Giannis having some of the longest Achilles tendons everywhere. So his Achilles tendon is probably about up to that location. And then this is all going to be gastrocnemius muscle. So he's grabbing sort of at that junction between the Achilles tendon and the calf muscle. Now, if we wind this up and look at when it occurred, it was really a pretty benign sort of moment. With an Achilles injury, right, we're always looking for that potential snap, that recoil up the back of the leg from the Achilles being ruptured. But I'll admit, in this position, there's really nothing that we see in terms of any sort of snap or recoil. Remember, it's the left leg that we're looking at. And before Giannis plants, we can already see his face is grimacing a little bit. So the injury happened before that plant and step. So if we wind back up, seemingly it would have been right here on this push off where he would have sustained that injury. So in this position, what are we looking at? Well, number one, there's not really an excessive amount of dorsiflexion. So in this position, the ankle is a little bit dorsiflexed, meaning closer up to the shin. There doesn't seem to be enough force to cause more of that passive overstretch Achilles type of rupture. He's not pushing off any more aggressive than we would typically see. I don't see any obvious sort of recoil or snap from an Achilles tendon injury that we can appreciate here just on this slow-mo replay. It would be nice to see something from behind, but at least looking through here, I don't see anything. Now, right away, the team reported that this was a soleus injury, which of course is not the Achilles, but I'm going to explain to you next why, number one, I don't understand how they can confidently say soleus based on the anatomy, and number two, why that still could result in Giannis having an extended absence into the playoffs. But first, I want to give a quick shout out to the sponsor of this video. Raise your hand if you're like me and you sign up for a bunch of online subscriptions that months later you completely forget about and they just sit there and drain your bank account. Well, thankfully, the sponsor of today's video, Rocket Money, is here to help. Rocket Money is the personal finance app that helps you cancel subscriptions, lower your bills, and manage your money better. My favorite part of Rocket Money is canceling all those unwanted subscriptions. You put in some basic personal information so that it can find those subscriptions, and then with just a few taps in the app, it's going to cancel them for you without you having to waste time talking to customer service. It also helps me set a budget by analyzing my spending habits and then developing a custom budget that's tailored specifically for me, with alerts and notifications when I've gone over budget. Rocket Money has helped save its customers up to $740 a year with over $500 million in canceled subscriptions. Right now, go to rocketmoney.com/BrianMD or click the link down in the description below to get started today for free. You can also unlock more features with premium, but you can get started for free, so why wouldn't you and start saving some money? So if you want to save more and spend less, join the over 5 million people using Rocket Money today. Again, that's rocketmoney.com/BrianMD to get started for free. Thank you again to Rocket Money for sponsoring today's video, and let's get back to our learning. Let's go straight to our biodigital anatomy tool here, and we're looking at all the muscles initially of that lower leg. So we're going to hide some of these muscles higher up in the thigh. We're going to go down and focus here on the calf. So the calf complex is made up of technically three muscles. There's the two that we really know about and think about, the gastrocnemius. Those are the main ones that we see with the calf. There's, of course, an inner medial head and an outer lateral head. And then deep to that, we're going to have a muscle called the soleus. The soleus also goes into the underside of the Achilles tendon to join up eventually with that true Achilles tendon proper. The third is then a muscle called the plantaris. It's this really thin little tendon, long skinny tendon that sometimes can get isolated tears, but I don't think is anything we need to worry about in this case. So we're going to hide some of these different muscles that we can focus specifically on just the gastrocnemius and the soleus here. Now, fun little fact, whenever you're just standing still, your soleus is the main muscle that's kind of helping to keep you upright. It's a very strong, a lot of endurance type of muscle. If we look at that anatomy, so the region that Giannis was grabbing was right around this location. So the myotendinous junction is where the muscle joins up with the tendon, the junction between the muscle and the tendon. An injury to the calf muscle proper, so something like a strain up here, is going to be a more mild injury. An injury to the soleus proper is again going to be more of a mild injury. An injury to the tendon, or that junction where the muscle goes into the tendon, is going to be a higher grade injury, and while not the extent of an Achilles tendon rupture, can be a multi-month absence. The area that Giannis was grabbing was right here, and when I say it's unusual for the team to comment specifically a soleus strain, there's no chance they had any time to do any sort of soft tissue imaging to look and really see, is it the soleus or is it the Achilles tendon that sits just nearby, superficial to the soleus? So just based on where he hurts, I don't think you can confidently say soleus strain versus an Achilles tendon strain or a myotendinous junction strain. Even if we're dealing with just a soleus muscle strain, best case scenario, we could still be looking at a multi-week, potentially month or longer absence for Giannis, right? Remember when Karl-Anthony Towns had a very long absence with a calf strain. So a calf muscle, a soleus muscle strain alone, if severe enough, could still be a 4 to 6 week, if not longer, absence. Certainly, if this injury is truly more in the Achilles tendon proper, that again could be a 1 to 2 month absence around that area. And so while this doesn't look like a full-blown Achilles rupture, and by now the team would know, there is still very real concern here that depending on the severity of this, Giannis could miss extended time into the postseason. A little fun anatomy fact too, just to think about the difference here with the gastrocnemius and the soleus. So the gastrocnemius is what we call a biarticulate muscle because it crosses two joints. It actually originates up on the femur, crosses the knee joint, and then goes down and inserts at the Achilles tendon on the calcaneus. The soleus originates below the level of the knee joint on the backside of the tibia. So whenever your knee is in a flexed position and you push off your toes, the soleus is doing more of the work, as opposed to when your knee is extended, you've got stretch on that gastrocnemius, you push off, the gastrocnemius is doing more of the work. So just a little nice anatomy difference to know. Gastrocnemius biarticulate, crosses two joints by. Soleus does not cross the knee joint, and so is going to be active depending on the exact position of the knee. So I'm sure we're going to see Giannis get an MRI, and I think best case scenario, he's ready for the opening round of the playoffs, but I think there's a very real chance this could be a multi-week injury. Again, I don't think we can trust that it's just the soleus. I think we have to be concerned about that possible area of the Achilles tendon being partially strained, or that junction where the muscle inserts down onto the tendon, which could be a more prolonged absence. That's it for the video. Let me know as always any questions or comments down below. And until next time, we'll see you later.